Hi, it's Barb, Meeple PhD, with another Cosmic Game connection. Recently, I found a paper where astronomers had confirmed that they had found an isolated stellar mass black hole. Now, black holes are objects with so much gravity that not even light can escape them, which makes them tricky to find. And this particular type of black hole that these researchers were looking at are formed when a massive star, its core collapses at the end of its life, forming this black hole, while the outer layers explode in a supernova explosion. Based on how many stars we see around us and the rate of star formation in our galaxy, we would expect there to be about 100 million of these star-sized black holes hanging out in our galaxy. But so far, we've only been able to detect them if they are in a binary system, orbiting a star, another stellar remnant, or even another black hole. And in some way, they are interacting so that they either emit light that we can detect or emit gravitational waves that we detect. Otherwise, there are just a whole lot of these black holes out in our galaxy that we just can't see. And this is the first time that a team has seen one of those isolated black holes, one that isn't with another star, which is really cool because there's got to be a lot of them out there. Now, this came about by a trick of the light. The black hole appeared to pass in front of a more distant star. And what happened is, as it passed in front, the black hole acted as a lens for the light of that more distant star coming toward us. And the position of the star appeared to move around relative to the other stars around it. This is similar to if you were to look through the bottom of a drinking glass and you kind of see how the world is distorted. That's kind of what happens here, that the light gets distorted as it's coming toward us because this black hole is moving in front of it. Now, what's happening is that the black hole, or anything with mass, creates a dent in space-time. And as the light is moving toward us and moving through that region where the black hole is, it will always pick the shortest path. And it happens that the shortest path here is a curve around the black hole, which means that the light that used to be coming from here is curving around and now looks like, instead of the star is here, it looks like it's over here, and then moves back to where it had been when the black hole is out of the way again. These researchers first observed this effect starting to happen in 2011, and it took about 6 years of observations for that black hole to get out of the way and for them to finish seeing kind of the effect of this wobbling of that star. And then it took another few years for them to do all of this analysis to rule out any other possibilities and finally conclude that yes, this was due to an isolated black hole just floating around our galaxy, which is really cool. They also have, I think it was 7 more that they are keeping an eye on to see if those are also isolated black holes. So we might hear about a few more of these coming up. And even more exciting, by the end of the decade, the Roman Space Telescope should be launching. And it will also be looking for these microlensing events, not only from black holes, but also to find planets around little stars. So this is a really cool field where you get to use this trick of the light to discover really tiny things that we wouldn't normally be able to see. And I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out of all of these new studies. So when I thought about how these researchers had found this lone black hole because of the way that the path of light changed around it, the game that came to mind was Karuba. Karuba is a tile placement game where players are simultaneously guiding their adventurers through the jungle in order to find treasures and ultimately end up at the temples hidden there. Karuba is set up with each player getting a jungle board, a matching set of tiles, and then 4 sets of adventurers and temples in 4 different colors. One player shuffles all of their tiles to form a draw stack, while everyone else lays their tiles out in order to find them quickly when someone calls out the number appearing on one of the tiles. Then before you begin, players decide on the starting positions for the adventurers and their temples. Once everyone has a matching board, you're ready to begin. Each turn, the player with the draw pile of tiles will take the top one and call out the number on that tile. Everyone else takes the matching tile, and they can do one of two things. They can either place it in their jungle or discard it for movement. If they're placing it in the jungle, the only rule is that it cannot be rotated. It can go anywhere. It doesn't have to, start at one end and go to the jungle. It does, it can be placed anywhere on the board as long as it is not rotated. If the tile depicts a gold piece or crystal, the player puts a matching piece on there. Instead, if you're discarding the tile for movement, you get to move one explorer up to the number of paths coming off the tile that you're discarding. You can always stop short. You don't have to use all of the movement, but you can't split it between more than one adventurer. You also can't move an adventurer through another adventurer, so you want to be careful how you're setting up your paths so you don't create those choke points. If your adventurer ends their movement on a tile with a crystal or a gold piece, you collect it. And if your adventurer moves off the board to their matching temple, you collect the highest remaining trophy in that color. Turns continue like this until either one player has matched up all of their adventurers with their matching temples, or you've gone through all of the tiles. At that point, you count up your score from points on your collected trophies and your crystals and gold pieces, and whoever has the most points wins the game. And it's the path laying in Karuba, where you are trying to find the most efficient way through the jungle, that had me thinking about how this light from the distant star found its most efficient path around the black hole, revealing to us for the first time an isolated black hole in our galaxy. So the next time you're playing Karuba and just the right tile comes up at just the right time to finish one of your paths through the jungle, take just 1 minute to think about how this light from a distant star changed its path to reveal a treasure in our own galaxy. Thanks for joining me. If you have any questions about the science or the game, please leave them in the comments below. Or maybe this result made you think of a different game. I'd love to hear about that too. I'll be back again with another Cosmic Game Connection. In the meantime, be sure to subscribe to my channel so that you know when a new video comes out. Otherwise, you can find me elsewhere on the internet as @MeeplePhD on Instagram and Twitter, and I have a blog at meeplephd.com. It's revealing this black hole to us that we would never